Hi, everybody. It's Casey again at Upcycled Island, and I'm going to give you an update on my fabulous new toy, my fabric cutting machine that my beautiful daughter gave me for Christmas. I did a brief video, like 5-minute video of my initial impressions. And so I've been using it. As a matter of fact, I stayed up till 3 o'clock this morning playing with this machine. Well, I wasn't playing, I was doing serious business this time. I was cutting up those jeans, and uh, wow, it is wonderful. It's faster, of course. And then I, if I had done all of what I've done by hand, I would have had blisters at the wazoo. Uh, I don't using this machine. And so I wanted to show you just what all I had done. And I'm not quite through, I'm almost through, but I saved at least one to show you what I can do with the pant part of it. So let me move the camera so you can see this. This is all of the bottom of the legs of the jeans that I've got cut apart and sized. And so when I'm ready to make a project, I'll grab one of these and one of these sets and start creating a project. So that's all done ahead of time. And then this is the upper part of the jean legs, and I've got them in smaller, so I'll use these to make bigger bags and do all kinds of things. And like I said, if I'd done this by hand with the scissors, I'd have been miserable. Well, I wouldn't have stayed up till 3 in the morning, I can tell you that, because it wouldn't have been near as fun. But I wouldn't have gotten all this done. And my hands would have just been full of blisters. So they're not now. Let me put this up. And then this pile, this is my pile of parts. This is waistbands and front pocket pieces and zipper pockets and all of that. And I use these to make different embellishments for the bags. And sometimes they use the waistbands for bag straps and all kinds of things. And then this thing, used it enough, I can even cut the pockets off the jeans. I use the pockets separately. I make some other things, but most of the time I just use the pockets like this. And I'm able to use this machine to get my pockets off. So that is super awesome. And then I can even use the machine to cut my seams out. I do a lot of embellishment with the seams. I make bracelets with the seams and also the hems. And I'm able to use this machine to cut these off. And that is huge. That's a big time saver right there. And this is scraps to use for piecing and stuff like that. So I have a pile of scraps. And so I was going to show you how I can use this machine to take the waistbands off of these and deconstruct the top of the jeans. So I was going to show you how I did that. I cut these belt loops off because when I use the waistband as embellishment, I use the belt loops as part of that embellishment So I want to save them. And so I cut them off. And if I damage the jean, it's a part of the jean that I'm not going to use for this particular project. So I'm not worried about it. And then, of course, the one I chose to show you on has got the Wrangler thing. So I have to loosen that so I can cut that waistband off without damaging that, because that is an important embellishment. So I'll just use my trusty picker and loosen that. Now what I do is I start with my scissors to loosen the waistband to get past the zipper. And if the little rivets are too close to the waistband, I do have to use my scissors to get past that, because I don't want to hit that with that blade. That would scare the bejeebies out of me. If that blade hit that metal, and no tell, I don't know what it would do. Probably make sparks or something, I don't know. But I'm not going to chance it. So these are kind of close. This one. And so I wanted to get those out of the way. Get this stuff out of the way, because you need room when you use this machine. So, okay, I've started the waistband, and then I'm going to cut down the middle of the pant so I can open the whole thing up. And then stretch it out and get everything out of the way. And then I take my trusty little machine and turn it on. Now I'm going to tell you what some things I like about it. It stands on its own. So when you start it, you can just start it and it's not going to take off anywhere, because it's, you know, not self-propelled or anything. So it's less scary. Once I've been using it a while, it's not scary at all. So you can turn it on and it just sits there waiting on you. And then it's got these rollers on the bottom of it, and that way it just glides on your table and under the fabric, and you don't have to force it. And it's got this, you know, safety guide that you can move up and down. I have it up here. Let me get my hand away from the blade. I have it up here. And this plate is wide, so that is also kind of a safety feature, I think. So what I've started off cutting off the waistband, and I'm going to cut off the rest of the waistband, let y'all see. And then I'll split this thing up and show you how quick and easy. So here we go. It's a lot quieter than it sounds like on the video, because I'm in a big room and the video's right there. So anyway, so I can start it, and you know, it's fine. It's not going anywhere. I just barely have to move it, because, and I make sure my hands are nowhere near it. So I had to move that belt loop out of the way. But I do that way ahead of the blade, so I'll be safe. And then I have to pull it towards me a little bit, because I'm short. And then I just keep going. Now here I have to hold 2 loops in the label. And I just go right past that. And I just guide that blade right beside the waistband. And voila, we're done. Now, I lift this thing out of the way, and it can just sit there, and I make sure I'm nowhere near it. And then I'm going to just cut this piece up into, that's the zipper section. I use that for embellishment. Here's the front section. I'll decide later what I'm going to do with it. Here's this back pocket section. And we cut that loose so it's easier to deal with when I cut the pockets off. I'll do the same thing here. And then I'll save this seam, so that goes next. And then I'll cut this apart. Turn it off and just set there. Now what I've done is cut these in manageable pieces, so when I want to do more with it, they're in smaller pieces and easier for me to manage. Now I can cut these seams off. And so I don't get my fingers near it. Once in a while I have to hold it up here, but nowhere near the blade. I'm very careful and very respectful. So I'll turn this on. I get it as close to the edge of that seam and cut it off. Move that out of the way. Flip this over. And this is the only time I have to put my hand in front of the blade, but it's way in front of the blade, just to hold that so it won't scoot. And then I hold the back. And then there's my jean seam. I can use that for embellishment. And then this pocket, I'll show you how I take the pocket off. I just put my blade on the edge of the pocket. I can even turn. You can cut curves and stuff with it because it's just so easy to maneuver. I'm going to turn you off. And see, my pocket is, so I can do all of that with the machine instead of my hand, so no more blisters. And that is super awesome. I really like it. Let me get the box and everything and show you what it is. The box just says direct drive servo cutting machine. Of course, that's backwards to you because we're in selfie mode. And then, so direct drive servo cutting machine. And then the warranty piece says this name. It's, whoops, BAOSHISHAN, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. So that's evidently the manufacturer. It's that Amazon brand store, Boshi, B-O-S-H-I, electronic instrument. And their store was established in 2014. So this is this Boshi. Boshi is their store name, and I guess that's their whole name. Anyway, so if you're interested in getting one like this one, that's the information that I have on it. And I think if there's anything else, just be very careful and respectful of the fact that it is a blade. you know, a turning blade, and it could do a lot of damage if you're not careful. So I'm scared enough of it to be very, very careful. And it is just wonderful. I don't know how many pair of pants I had in all, but I started, I don't know what time last night doing it, and I quit at 3 this morning, and then I started up again around 11 this morning. I got to sleep late. Went to bed so late. And so I've gotten a ton done. If I had been doing this by hand, it would have taken me a whole lot longer. A lot longer. And so this enables me, when I'm able to do a bunch like this, it enables me to get more done. And when I'm ready to create, I won't have to go through the prep process. I'll just go through the, oh, how do I want to embellish that process, which is kind of lengthy in and of itself. But the prep work is already going to be done, which is hugely, hugely helpful. So I just wanted to give you the update. Great, great machine. Just be respectful of it and careful. Very, very careful. Very, very careful. And enjoy it. I recommend it. And anyway, that's all I got for you today. And I will say, again, Happy New Year. Fingers crossed that it will be better. Who knows? And I'll see you next time. Stay safe.